Peace. What's good? It's your brother God Science up in here once again. Shout out, special salute to the few that do watch the videos and subscribe. I really appreciate y'all, true indeed. This damn necklace is bothering me. Anyway, y'all see the title, man. I just wanted to address this like real quick because I keep seeing it like on the YouTube streets, and you got people going crazy what Fat Joe said on Manthrova's platform. Now, Fat Joe, I've been following Fat Joe since he was doing promos for Red Alert, bro. Oh yeah, you got a flow, Joe. So I've been following him since then, before he was anybody. Digging in the crates. If y'all know about hip hop, y'all know about that crew. Lord Finesse, Showbiz and AG. So, of course, I don't think he knows what he's talking about with, the Foundation of Black Americans organization, whatever you call it. I don't look at him as being racist. And I think this all stems, of course, from the claim that Lord Jamar made that, hip hop was created from Black Americans. Now, from everybody that I've looked at, said G from Ultramagnetic MCs, Grandmaster Caz, I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 1980. So by the time I got into hip hop, late 80s, 87, 88, 89, Puerto Ricans was already there. You know what I'm saying? Right beside us. Growing up in our blocks, we tagging trains and, seeing who got the new song on the tape from the radio from Red Alert last night or Chuck Chill Out. So they was already there. But, I wasn't there in the 70s and stuff. And from what these brothers say, that generation that came here, they were pretty much racist. And I gotta agree with that because I remember when I dated a girl from Puerto Rico and her family couldn't deal with that. They was racist as hell. Now, I'm not talking about that generation that got into hip hop. They, identified with it. They contributed to it, but their parents didn't like that shit. They were like, why you following? I don't know the name they call us in Spanish, and it's really stupid. But I seen this brother. I don't even know his name. I forgot his name, but he made a good point. Back then, and I can attest to this because my father's family's from Trinidad and Tobago. Trini crew, what up? And I remember I grew up in New York. I was born in Brooklyn. Growing up around my dad's family, I picked up that slang, that Trini slang. And I remember sometimes when I used to say it around my American friends, they used to make fun of me and stuff like that. I remember when in high school, people that were Haitians, we used to make fun of people from Haiti. Like how they eat cat and all kinds of crazy crap. And I never used to like it. When you're young, you wanna fit in and stuff like that, so you will go along with it. But in the same time, in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is wrong. You know what I mean? That's our people regardless. But they used to make fun of Haitians. They used to make fun of Jamaicans. I had a best friend called Calvin, and he was Jamaican, and he had a straight Jamaican accent. And I remember every time, we chilling, and my other friends come around, Americans, they start going in on him, talking about how he eat cat and all that. So that's an element that I didn't hear a lot of people talk about. So a lot of people that started hip hop, and his point was a lot of people that started hip hop, they might have come from Jamaica, or parents that came from Jamaica and stuff. They were born in the United States of America, just like myself, but they probably had a parent that was from Jamaica or Trinidad, and they kept that a secret. because of the ignorance of our own people. And it's the same thing of the, growing up and being teased that you were dark skinned. I used to get that, and you think it'll be coming from white people. I made a video about that a while back. It came from my people. So much so that I used to have the mentality of, you know what, when I get older, I'm gonna marry a white girl so my kids could be lighter and they don't have to go through the shit that I went through when I was young. That's so I get what he's talking about. So we don't know if these people that created hip hop, did they have any, family that came from the islands and stuff like that? So it's hard from his basically the point where it's hard to say that strictly foundational black Americans created hip hop. Because at that time, if you did speak, with a slang from the West Indies or something like that, it wasn't accepted like how it is now. Back then, people made fun of you. And that's a good point. Not saying that, black Americans didn't create hip hop. I'm not saying that. It's just a good point that I didn't see anybody brought up. And like I said, I can attest to it because, I used to see my friends getting picked on and stuff like that too from my own people. And that's just the ignorance of us. Just like the ignorance of, when I was younger, I had a lot of white girlfriends. And my uncle was always black, super black conscious. He's the reason why I learned about Malcolm X and things like that. And he'd always come to me and be like, why you always messing with these, he was in the Nation of Islam back then. So, you know what I'm saying? Gods and earth. So he like, why you messing with all these devils and stuff? I'm like, well, they accept me. The black girls that I used to go to school with, they'll make fun of my, I guess back then, you see, dark-skinned dudes wasn't in style all the time. Okay, it wasn't in style all the time. Back then, if you look like Albie Shore with the curly hair and a lot of these black girls will front on you, and they would do the same thing. But the white girl like be touching you. Oh, your skin is so soft, and look at your dreads, and they are all the total opposite that the black girls were doing. Now, not all black girls. I'm talking about the ones without knowledge of self. So sisters, don't get on me. I'm talking about the ones that's ignorant. Okay, they used to make fun of me, but the white girls, they love my skin. You know what I mean? They love how my hair was and everything. So, and I explained that to him. And then he basically explained to me, the 5% of the population, he's breaking down, the Nation of Islam teachings and all that. But that's how I used to think before knowledge of self, man. So I can see how some people would not let other people know. Like, I didn't know Herbie Lovebug, who produced Kid and Play, Salt and Pepper, one of the biggest producers back then, super producers back then. He was Haitian. That wasn't something we didn't care, but it wasn't something that was told. Now coming to find out that he was. You see what I'm saying? So who is not to say that these people who created hip hop didn't have family members like that? It's a good argument. You know what I mean? But of course, Fat Joe's disappointing. I heard I don't even know what, because this dude be saying a bunch of stories and stuff like that. And according to Cuban Links, most of them are lies. Shout out to Cuban Links. But I heard him say one time, he was black. Basically, it's the same thing. When he was talking about the, Puerto Ricans, and basically it's the same thing. They're basically black. And if you do the history behind it and stuff, they're basically black people that got conquered by Spain, and, people were raped and stuff like that. And therefore they speak this language and they look like that. But I go to Puerto Rico sometimes, and they're dark skinned. They're Puerto Ricans that's dark like me. And they get treated just like second class citizens too. It's that caste system shit. You know what I mean? But if we are just all the same, why the separation now? So if we say Black Americans created hip hop, that should include Puerto Ricans, right? If there's no difference. But see, there is a difference because we have some Puerto Ricans that want to identify with being white. Because secretly they look down on Black people just like everybody else. And when we say that something as powerful as hip hop and was created by us, people don't like that. But shit, why stop at hip hop? We created rock and roll. We created blues. We created every single genre that you see in America was created from Black people. Period. And anybody want to debate that, put it in the chat. You know, so of course we created hip hop. It's what James Brown is basically like the co-founder of hip hop. I mean, you can find a James Brown, not a James Brown sample from back in the late 80s, and you know what I mean? So it came from Black people, period. We wasn't sampling like Spanish records. So, you know, I don't get what the issue is. Nobody's saying that Spanish people didn't contribute to it. Big Pun is probably one of the beat nuts. Look, the beat nuts. They're one of the legends in the game. You know what I'm saying? Legends. Big Pun. Arguably, a lot of people would disagree with this, but I think he would give Biggie a run for his money. Not saying he'd be Biggie Smalls, but dude was nice with them lyrics, man. If you listen to Capital Punishment, bro, I remember when I was in work release and I got that tape, and I was like, yo, who is this dude? Because he just came out of nowhere to me, and he was killing it on that album. I was like, yo, this dude is coming. And sadly, man, we just, you know, lost him. Rest in peace to Big Pun, man. But that's a good, just wanted to, you know, share my opinion on it, and wanted to make that argument because that argument I didn't hear a lot of people talk about from that brother. And I wish I forgot his name, or his channel, to give him credit, because I saw him bring that argument up. And it's valid, man. It's valid because I used to see it myself. Even when, you know, I moved, when my family moved and I moved down here to New York, I was getting teased for talking like I'm from New York. From people from down here. They'll hear my slang. I remember we used to come down here on vacation, and we was wearing Air Force Ones back in like 90, 91. And dudes used to make fun of my brother wearing Air Force Ones. This is down here in Florida, bro. And they'll be like, yo, what kind of Nikes are those? And laughing at them. Ain't that some shit? Timberlands. Back then, you would know who's from New York because they'd be rocking Timberlands, or they'll be wearing Ewings, because at that time, Ewings wasn't available down here in Orlando or Miami. You know what I'm saying? So you would know who's from like up north. But what the hell, man? These damn flies, man. But anyway, thank you guys for watching, man. What y'all think about the whole thing? If you do have a comment, just leave it. Appreciate y'all. Like the video if you do. And y'all stay safe out there. And whoever's like, you know, we know that Christmas is crap, but you can use it to spend time with your family and, you know, your loved ones and stuff like that. So I hope everybody has a great, you know, Christmas if I don't post by then. And, you know, appreciate y'all just making it this far through my video. You know what I mean? Y'all stay safe out there. Salute. Peace.